is my first time doing a reaction, and I thought I would give the perspective on a former fatty, someone who was formerly obese. I enjoy watching the reaction channels. This will actually be my first time giving Amberlynn Reid a direct view as opposed to watching her through another React channel. I'm not new to her. I've been watching for a couple years now, and she, along with many others, fascinate me. I see it in a different way than some people do. I mean, we all kind of have the same line of thought for a lot of these videos, but recently with her weight loss that she's been having some success in, I've seen real change in her, and I think we all have. And I know it's hard to give her that, and it doesn't excuse all of the other crap that she's done. What I'm trying to say is I believe the strides she's made in terms of her weight loss. Do I think she's going to stick with it? I don't know. So this is just her most recent food haul, which everyone has done a ton on, but I saw the opportunity in this video to give some information on some of this. We're gonna dive into something you'll see when we get there.
So welcome to a grocery haul. While I do the grocery haul, I'm gonna be putting some of it away. I'm only gonna show you the things that I bought, not the things that Becky bought. So first thing, garlic salt.
I am so highly against adding salt to things, but that's my personal preference. I know that when you have salt is a huge factor when you retain water, and it's not doing her any favors. One of the hardest things for me when I was learning how to eat better was cutting salt out of my diet. Not entirely, but you know, I don't put it in everything anymore, and when I do, it's very little. It's amazing when you start cutting back on things like sugar and salt, how your palate changes. Things that I used to enjoy, like pre-made processed foods or soups, or you know, canned soups, that kind of stuff, they're way too salty for me now, and I don't know how I ever managed to eat that much salt. My suggestion here would be just get garlic powder. You can add as much garlic powder as you want to something, and then maybe a dash of salt. That's one of the big things that I loved about learning how to cook better and eat better, how herbs substituted a lot of the unnecessary ingredients that I was adding into my food, like salt.
Because we don't have any more. So I got some more treats for Twinkie. These will last her forever. I usually buy her 3 at a time, so she has like ones to switch through. I give her 1 a day. This is Milo's Kitchen chicken meatballs. We have Twisted Tiny Long Lasting Chews.
So fun fact, this back here on the pink and brown blanket, that's Zoidberg. He is my old man. I just bought him a thing of treats the other day with my kids, and I have no idea where I put them, and I feel so bad because he loved them, and I was so excited to get them for him, so fail.
By Beggin, Brina, and Love Some. These are Canine Oral Care Dental Sticks.
Hi, Becky.
So,
fun fact, my name is also Becky.
I bought natural ground turkey breast, extra lean.
I love turkey. It's one of my favorite meats, especially ground turkey. There's so much you can do with it, so I'm approving that one.
lean, and 3 things of natural chicken breast tenders, boneless and skinless.
I'm all about the boneless, skinless chicken. I don't,
These.
the less that I have to do with a knife too. I'm okay with cutting chicken and stuff up, but that's one of the reasons why I don't use chicken thighs very often, because I don't like cutting off the skin. And I don't want to pay for the ones that come that way.
Except for one of these. So. Okay, so hi. Here's a disclaimer, or whatever you want to call it. So you're about to see me in this video put away some groceries, and as I'm editing this, on the back of my pants there's something white, and I am like over here like an investigator trying to figure it out. I have Becky look. She don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. So I just want to make it known before people like leave comments down below. Y'all, I don't even know what it is. If I knew what it was, I'd probably say something. But yeah, there's something white. It looks like maybe dust, but I haven't sat on anything dusty. I legitimately have no idea. But anyways, continue watching.
So I understand that she doesn't have kids and they live a relatively simple life, and that people are really mean and critical of her all the time. Um, just wanted to throw this out there. I can't tell you how many times I've gone out in public or tried to film myself doing something, and I've just got stuff on me and I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's come from. So I feel ya. And it doesn't bother me. You probably brushed up against something. Yeah, it happens. Nobody cares. Nobody who matters cares anyway. Also wanted to add that I don't have YouTube Premium or whatever, so I have to edit out all of her ads. I'm not good at this at all, so bear with me.
Next. So we did these, we have 3 of these bags, so you don't have to use grocery bags, but we got so much stuff that we had to use some grocery bags as well, which kind of sucks. So I got a lot of my sparkling ices. I think I got 5 of the coconut pineapple. I got 3 of the classic lemonade.
So I don't want to be overly critical, because as my channel name suggests, a lot of people, one of the biggest mistakes they make when they're just starting out on a weight loss journey, they miss soda and they miss that, fizzy and the sweet and I understand that there's sparkling waters with flavors in them that don't have any sweetness to them, and I was all for those for the longest time because whatever kind of weans you off of it. You're looking for progress, not perfection. But something that I have come to notice since losing weight myself, drinking sparkling water or anything carbonated just leaves me feeling so thirsty, even if it's just sparkling water with like flavors in it. I don't know what it is about it. While these are better than soda, there's really no replacement for just drinking water. But again, you're going for what's the easiest transition for you, and when you are 500 or 600, however big you are, several hundred pounds overweight, small changes like this will make a big difference in the end.
2 of the strawberry lemonade. What else? I got 2 or 3 of the kiwi strawberry. I got 2 of the orange mango. And 2 cherry limeades. I don't know. I think that's it. But I love having those. I usually have 1 a day, but there was a day, like a couple days ago, I had 3. I was like, okay, I must be thirsty. So I got some whole grain bread. It's one of my favorites.
I don't know why that made me laugh.
Favorites. It's the Pepperidge Farm whole grain. It's 15 grains, so I'm gonna use those for sandwiches.
As far as bread goes, when I started eating it, I went for the lower calorie options, but it turns out that it had terrible ingredients in it. So I started changing the way I looked at things. It's not always all about calories. Sometimes it's about the content of what you're putting into your body. Once you start thinking about food as just fuel and what you're putting into the tank, it changes the way you think about things, and you start thinking, if I'm going to be ingesting these calories, I need to make them benefit me in some way, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I do like that bread. I love bread. I'm a huge carb fan. But I've been trying to make smarter choices.
I got some PB2. It's peanut butter with cocoa powder. So literally the ingredients is just roasted peanuts, sugar, cocoa, and salt.
Love peanut butter powder. I try really hard to find some without sugar added to it. I have a hard time finding that in the grocery store, so I have bought that kind before, and it's good, but I mean, it's got sugar in it. I since then have just bought peanut butter without sugar and, oils and stuff.
I got a big thing of baby spinach, like whopping.
Love spinach.
I do still have the freezer open.
Can I just stop for a second and compliment how much she's doing right now? I know a lot of people have touched on this in their videos, but I'm so proud of her for being able to get up and move and do things without like dying. She's not out of breath. She's not taking a minute to sit down here and there, although there are jump cuts, so that could happen. But she's making the attempt, and I think that's something for her to be celebrating. When you're going through weight loss, obviously in the beginning it's really slow, and it can be discouraging because you lose your motivation, and it's hard to see the results in the beginning. But as you keep going and you see the results and other people see the results, you start to feel good. It propels you to keep going. But in this stage, it can be hard. So making these small choices throughout your day to, move the extra couple steps, or squat a couple different times instead of bending over to pick something up if you drop it, or I'm going to go outside and get the mail today, or any way that you can get that exercise in is good, especially when you're this big. It makes all the difference in your day-to-day life, and she's doing great. I'm really happy for her.
Because I'm going to need it. So I got Lean Cuisine Vermont white mac and cheese. I actually got 2 of those. I got 2 of the Lean Cuisine orange chicken.
So here's where we are going to take a quick turn. Now, Jaime, I wanted to go into the freshly versus lean cuisines versus all this other stuff. People didn't like when she was doing freshly, and a couple people bullied her. Not anyone that was actually behind her supporting her, but it had her second guessing. I thought it was amazing, and I kind of was sad when I heard that she wasn't going to be going with freshly anymore. However, I understand that things change, and she wanted to try and cook some more at home, which is great. Here's what we're gonna do. Now, I know I'm not going into everything. Here you will see on the screen, this is the chicken parm with broccoli that she got. And it's nice. It's got 410 calories, 17 grams of carbs. Let's go into this. Look at the actual nutrition facts. So she has Lean Cuisine orange chicken. So let's do, okay, full nutritional facts. So this serving has, obviously they're different things, but for the Lean Cuisine, 310 calories from fat. So how much saturated fat? 1 gram. Poly and mono, 14 grams of protein. So here, this one has 6 grams of saturated fat, 20 grams total of fat, 22% of your daily value of sodium. This one has 29%. cholesterol, 35%, 8% carbohydrates. There's 46 grams of carbs with 13 sugar. So 17 grams of carbs with 5 grams of sugar. So, and 41 grams of protein, which is much higher than 14 grams. So let's see what else they've got. Let's see if we can find one that's close to the Freshly meal. Here we go. Here's a chicken parm. Okay. So this one, serving size 1 ounce, 1 container, 356 grams. I'm not good with grams to ounces and that sort of thing. Anyway, this one's lower calorie, lower fat content, lower protein content. Cholesterol is also lower. Sodium is a little bit higher. Carbohydrates are definitely lower. But overall, my point about this is that there's really not that much of a difference between the two. Granted, this is supposed to be more fresh, and I feel like it's a better portion size for her, for people who are learning how to eat. But the point is that whether she chooses to do lean cuisine or Freshly, I think either should be encouraged for her because it's going to help her. What she needs to work on right now is a routine. She needs to get into the routine of eating certain sized meals and being okay with the feeling of still not feeling full. And I think she's done a much better job at that. A lot of people criticized when she added things to her Freshly meals and her little mukbangs or mukbangs or however you say it. I'm old, I don't know. But the things she was adding were healthy choices. I like to eat. I also suffer with an eating disorder. It's not easy. It doesn't go away when you get skinnier. Becoming thinner does not solve all of your problems. Some days I do really well. Some days I eat my kids' gushers when they go to bed. The point I'm trying to make is that what she was eating in these mukbangs, I don't necessarily like seeing people eat on camera at all. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but to each their own. And I feel like what she was eating wasn't a crazy amount of things. I meal prep every single Sunday for myself. I meal prep my breakfasts, I meal prep my lunches and my dinners for about 6 days, and then usually give myself 1 day a week where I'm usually home on the weekend and I can make myself whatever I feel like. When I make these containers and portion them out, I'm usually also having like a cup of popcorn on the side and maybe some carrots, or I add to my meals too. I'm not here to say that what she was doing was wrong. If it helps her, I think it's a good choice. She's eating better than what she was. I'd rather see her eating that than fast food or massive, or an entire rotisserie chicken.
I got lean cuisine, garlic and chicken spring rolls, organic whole grain rice cakes, which
Hate rice cakes. Blech. Love rice, not rice cakes.
is what I'm going to use the PB2 for.
When I'm thinking of doing something different, instead of like toast or something and putting peanut butter on it, I would not reach for rice cakes. What I've found is that if I slice really thinly a piece of sweet potato, you can almost treat that like toast and stick it in your toaster, let it toast up. It doesn't get soft, but it gets pliable and enough to eat it and kind of crispy around the edges. And then you can put, like peanut butter on that and some berries. Or sometimes I do like avocado toast, except it's on the sweet potato, and then do like the everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's. Oh my God, it's so good. But never, ever a rice cake.
I got a Ninja because how am I gonna have smoothies without one? Because that's why I got the spinach, is for smoothies, and some Chobani Greek yogurt vanilla for some smoothies. I literally hate yogurt, and Greek is even worse, but I feel like hiding it in a smoothie will be better for me, because my doctor did tell me I should probably be eating some yogurt because it has like probiotics, I guess, that your body needs.
Okay, I love smoothies. However, I don't like when people drink their calories instead of just eating them. I usually will have a smoothie maybe a couple times a week, and all you need in a smoothie is, some kind of fruit. I usually put in some spinach or some avocado or both. Um, Usually a little bit of water, some ice if I need it, banana, whatever I want in there that's fruit and veg wise. And then you just blend it. You don't have to put in yogurt if you don't like yogurt. And probiotics, I would highly recommend that she look into a really well-known brand, pill form. If I hated yogurt that much, which I don't, I love yogurt, but it hurts my stomach, I would look into an alternative like the pill form.
So I like to spoil my animals, and sometimes I like to get them new bowls and stuff. So I got this for Twinkie for her water and for her food. I thought it was super cute. I also got another linguine spring roll and Asian style chicken. Got some string cheese, Colby Jack, and another string cheese. It's chipotle cheddar and habanero jack, and a can of garbanzo beans.
I will never not love cheese. Cheese will be the reason why I will always have excess fat on me. Well, that and burgers and, all the yummy things in life. I still eat all of those, but just, not like I used to. But yeah, I'm all for cheese. It's awesome as long as you're not eating a crazy excess of it. And garbanzo beans, chickpeas, oh my gosh, they are life. I love Twinkie walking around with her.
What else did I get? I got 2 or 3, I forget. Yeah, 2 zucchinis,
Love zucchini.
chicken sausage links. This one's spinach gruyere. I literally cannot pronounce that, so judge me.
Look at the cat jumping up in there. I'd be curious to see what the ingredients of those sausage links are. I'm not a huge sausage fan, chicken, pork, beef, whatever. I'm just not a huge sausage person. Aww, sweet baby
So I got some
helping.
turkey bacon because a lot of people are like, you need to stop buying the pre-cooked stuff. So I figured this was a lot healthier, and I have to cook it myself.
I don't like turkey bacon. You can like it if you want. That's probably one of the only turkey alternatives that I do not like. If I'm going to eat bacon, I'm going to eat it as the way God intended. But, if she likes it, more power to her. That's great. It's also cheaper. Look at the baby.
Lunches, I just want to keep it simple in the next week or so. So I'm just gonna do sandwiches. So I got oven roasted
She's like, what you got in here for me, Mom? Um, Not a big fan of lunch meat. I would much rather she bought like a rotisserie chicken, like we know she likes, and maybe pull the meat off of there and use that instead. But, you know, if she's willing to portion out her lunch meat, it might not be so bad.
Are you in the freezer? That scared me and it made me drop my. Oh my god.
My cat scares me all the time too.
Is she in the freezer?
Yep.
What the heck? I'm gonna have to watch that back. And roasted chicken breast. Was there what?
Didn't have to put that in there. We know what happened. Oh man.
I probably should have just done all the frozen stuff first, but so I can close the freezer.
Well, I'm really bad at putting my groceries away too. I have a tiny kitchen and I have kids that are always around me yelling and needing things and I get distracted and we're human, it's fine. And you're paying the electric bill, so.
I got quite a few bags of frozen brown rice. You guys, literally, the ingredients of this is just water and rice. So there's no preservatives or like anything like that at all. Got another one.
I'm all for the frozen food type deal. Frozen rice like this, or frozen veggies, frozen fruits, like they're all awesome. I like it mostly for me because while I cook a lot and I use up, I would say, a good 90% of what I buy, there are some things that I just cannot get to before they go bad. So if I buy them in the frozen form, they last a little bit longer for me. The downside is that it's a little more expensive.
There's broccoli, carrots, baby corn, which I love.
The cat hair floating by.
And I got another Asian mix, another brown rice.
Whatever gets your good carbs and
I got
veggies in, girl.
classic fruit medley, which has strawberries, mango, pineapple, peaches, and grapes. And
Oh,
then
grapes. Interesting.
another kind, which is a triple berry blend, which has blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. So scientifically
Yum.
I didn't say it, but when you buy frozen vegetables and frozen fruit, it actually keeps the nutrients longer because they're like frozen into it.
False. It does not keep them longer. But what she's trying to say is that when they freeze them at their peak of their nutrients. So they don't lose their nutrition from being frozen, essentially, is what she's trying to say here. And she's correct in that.
Compared to like when you go to the produce aisle, which nothing with the produce aisle, super healthy. But it's been scientifically proven, don't quote me though, that there is more nutrients in frozen vegetables.
No, there's it's not more. It's all the same. It doesn't change when you freeze it versus having it raw. Although a lot of people like, obviously, the flavor of raw vegetables or, you know, raw just cooked vegetables. Does that make sense? Probably not. It's late here. I'm tired. My kids are still up. I'm waiting for them to fall asleep so I can go to bed too.
Fruit, which is kind of cool, kind of awesome. And then, of course, another brown rice. So I need to put all these in the freezer.
She's all ready for the brown rice apocalypse.
I have is
Oops.
nail polish and
Remover.
some cotton rounds for the nail polish remover. I meant to say nail polish remover. I'm sorry, guys. Because, you guys, my nails look crazy.
Girl,
So
mine are
that's
awful.
everything, actually. I am going to put away this frozen stuff real quick because it's a lot. It is a lot.
It's a good feeling, though. It's one of my favorite feelings in the world. When I go grocery shopping and get home and restock my fridge. I go grocery shopping once a week, and makes me so happy.
I think it's actually organized pretty good. Now I have to put away Becky stuff and then Twinkie stuff like this that goes in the cupboards. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys.
So yeah, I really like this haul. I think she did a great job, and I'm really proud of the choices that she made. So if she could stick to just what she bought, she'd be losing weight left and right, no problem. Um, I think it's awesome that she offered to put Becky's stuff away as well. That's extra exercise. One of the things that I like to do when I am putting things away, or when I am going back and forth doing things, especially if I didn't get to get out and exercise fully that day, I will take whatever's heaviest, well, not heaviest, but within my my capability, and do like arm stretches, or maybe like lunge with it. Obviously she's far away from doing lunges, but my point is that it's good to get the extra movement in, and it seems kind of silly, it seems kind of weird, but realistically it's all the little things that add up in the long run. I mean, obviously weight loss happens in the kitchen, fitness happens in the gym. What she needs to do, I think, to continue to be successful is to give herself tangible goals. So when I started running, I started at just a mile, and then every month I would bump it up a quarter mile, and I knew no matter what, no matter how I was doing on my current goal, the following month I would bump it up a little more, and then the following month I bump, and it got to the point where it was kind of a sink or swim type thing, and it was nice to know that even if I didn't feel like I was going to be able to do it, I had that accountability within myself to say, this is what you've chosen. You need to keep going, to follow through with this. And knowing that as much as I dreaded adding those extra, quarter miles on every month, I was doing it and I wasn't dying. So giving yourself small goals that continuously help you to grow is really going to help her as well. So starting off with, putting groceries away for yourself is great. And then putting away your groceries and Becky's groceries, that's great. That's extra movement. And then maybe next week putting away your groceries, Becky's groceries, and while you're doing it, maybe, taking your frozen bags of rice and doing a couple above the arm stretches. Just kind of doing extra. Maybe a month or two down the road, instead of bringing all your groceries in one go, maybe leaving the door open and going back and forth and back and forth. So you're taking one bag, bringing it in, putting it away, going back out, grabbing another bag, bringing it in, putting that away. Small changes like that. That's when you're really going to start to feel better and see greater progress. So good job, Amberlynn. I'm very proud of you. I hope you keep this up. It's excellent. Things won't change overnight, but the small changes matter, and you're looking for progress, not perfection. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.